Stop press. Silent Hill lands a soft ELSPA 15 age rating. So basically, back in the mid to late 90s, obviously you had the certificates for the age restricted access for rather non-violent video games. The problem is that back in 2004, I went into a supermarket to purchase Grand Theft Auto 2, bearing in mind that I had been driving for nearly 12 months at this point, and they asked me for identification. So yeah, even though I've been playing that game on and off since I was 14, I'm showing my age there, folks. Latest IDOS releases. Titles to be launched in August and September. Reverent. New 3D RPG. PC gets spooked. The PC world will once again deliver it into a mystical world of legends and magics as Eidos get the RPG gibbies with their new title, Reverent. You take control of Locke, a resurrected warrior or Reverend, pulled from the land of the shadows by a powerful warlord to exact vengeance on his daughter's abductors. This happy tale will take our hero through forests and dungeons, interacting with over 40 characters while cleaving bits of magic creatures, released with 65,000 colours. Graphics, it looks absolutely awesome. The hero casts a ring of fire. I warned you about having that extra heavy gory, didn't I? So basically, yeah, this is the part number 3, I believe, of the August of 1999 Gamesmaster magazine. A magazine that is a lot older than probably the people that's going to be watching this video. Anyway, let's carry on with the overview. Urban Chaos. So basically, Urban Chaos was, let's say, a Tomb Raider clone. I never personally played it. However, I did hear it was quite good. It's the new Lara. No, it's not. Call the Cops. In what is one of Ida's most ambitious projects, you take the role of either one of two unconventional Union City cops battling a cult intent of sending the world in world army. Developers Monkey Foot have created a full 3D interactive city where you can commandeer any vehicle you want, fight multiple assailants, and leap from roof to roof. The first action we've seen has had us screaming in our seats in anticipation. If the game can fulfill its own ambition, this should be special. Never played it. Got to say, it was one of them games where it was sort of on the horizon on my little radar, but I never got round to playing it. So let's have a look what we've also got here. The Nomad Soul. Ocarina name change. David Who. Originally titled Omicron, this has plenty of press due to the involvement of a certain Dame David of Barry. Bowie, the shaman of Rourke himself. Not only is this in the game, but the soundtrack he's writing for it will make up for most of his next album, Lord Have Mercy. The game places the player as a roaming soul inhabiting different people's body in the parallel existence of Rockimo. You then must find the identifier of the body you're in by exploring the city and moving on to the flesh, and your current body cops it. It's going to be a huge game with advertising to rival Final Fantasy and fighting to rival Tekken. I've got to say it, I've never heard of this game before, and I've never heard of it since. Yeah, so basically, back in the 90s, everything was either a Doom clone, a Tomb Raider clone, a fighting game clone, or a strategy clone. That was it. I mean, it's not like now where everything is essentially a FIFA clone, a Call of Duty clone, a strategy clone, as in possibly World of Warcraft, although I don't really know many people that plays that. Or most worryingly, the clone is either of racing, Gran Turismo, etc., etc., etc. Funny enough, bit of a long-winded story. I joked with a friend of mine who I used to do martial arts with, and I said, do you realise in about 30 years there will be a TV advert and it says, never underestimate the power of the PlayStation, I'll say 20, and he smiled, and we're now on the PlayStation 5. and by looks of it, we'll probably on the PlayStation 6 by the end of next year. Oh well, time flies. Rayman 2, The Great Escape. Rayman returns. He's quite literally legless. If you're wondering where Rayman has been, well, you believe it. He's been locked up by robot pirates in an intergalactic zoo. But now he's up for a bit of Steve McQueen action with new adventures, The Great Escape. Regaining his freedom was the easy part, but now he has to save his friends armed with his magic fist. Raymond has to grapple side and use his hair as a helicopter to complete over 40 hours of gameplay. The evil encounter not only includes the robot pirates, but piranhas, zombie chickens, who will all line up for a good showing. Shooing? Ubisoft are promising much the same gameplay, but with much more than its 2D prequel thanks to the power of the PC and Dreamcast. Sounds quite ruddy ace. The camera slips and slides around the action, revealing huge bosses and rooms, sometimes before closing right in on Ray for its better peek of his in-game antics. Despite the game's graphical advances, it seems that they don't have the skill to join his limbs to his body. I've never played on Rayman. It's one of them games where I've heard good news about it, but yeah. Right. Stop press. Literally. Driver goes on sale. Biggest sale since Christmas. Okay, so Driver was like a Grand Theft Auto type game from the obviously late 90s. Once again, I think I played it on a demo disc, but that's about as far as I did play it. Basically, the graphical and powerful limitations of the original PlayStation were the fact that it wasn't Grand Theft Auto at all. Obviously, you're looking at probably Grand Theft Auto 3, where it really became into its own. But it would be a good thing to play to see where some ideas came from. Boys talking games. Get mobile with Game Boy. Play GB games on phones. Teen talkers targeted. Nintendo has revealed a cunning plan to introduce more people to the world of conquering wonders of the Game Boy gaming. Nintendo has unveiled innovative game software that will allow GB owners to download the games from the Pocket Console onto a new range of mobile phones for whiling away those dull periods between calls. Let's get this a bit closer, if I can. The move, which had been taken after Staff's boffins discovered a large crossover between Japanese teenage games players and Teen Mobile's phone users. At the moment, it seems like phone companies are desperate to find any gimmick to tempt punters to change their new brand, and the new Nintendo software is just a part of the transformation of mobile phones from chatbox to entertainment stations. Your large losses forecast for the end of 1999. The firm are relying on peripheral schemes like this, plus the growing Pokemon phenomenon, to underwrite the cost of developing Dolphin. So basically, at the late 90s, Pokemon started to take off. I can honestly say I've never played a Pokemon game in my life. I'm not sure even where to begin, to be honest. Although, when I see screen grabs and videos from the Nintendo DS era, obviously I am a big fan of the handheld console. When I see the difference between how the format for The Legend of Zelda, Spirit Tracks especially, and a Pokemon from that era, you kind of can see where the modelling was all based upon. So yeah, Pokemon, obviously, let's not go there because I don't want to upset anybody who may be the biggest Pokemon fan going. I've never played it. EA Eats Skydive, the world's first skydiving game. That's the thing, at least with the, with the late 90s, you may have had clones of different games, but once you actually opened up a new genre, a lot of people sort of went from there. Now, this game, the world's first skydiving game, new gens don't come around very often. I swear I did not know that said that before I read it. But we reckon that EA's upcoming skydiving skim, Skydive, is just that. Using video footage shot by renowned aerial cinematographer Tom Sanders, Skydive takes you to the famous locations around the globe. Stonehenge, Death Valley, Moscow's Red Square, and lets you see what it would be like to free fall over them. Skydive features 3 playing modes: landing accuracy, sky slalom, and free fly. The first, as you expect, is all about judging wind, speed, and direction so that you land perfectly on the target. Sky slalom is about zigzagging through rings in the sky rather than skiing a slalom course just like it would without powder. Free fire sounds like most of the fun after you dodge obstacles in the sky and attempt to get the optimum position for perfect landing. Pull off all sorts of mad stunts as you hurtle towards your squishy demise. Don the shiny red platons of a madman and leap from the planes. Okay, so Pilot Wings on the SNES had a skydiving bit, but just look at this. Once again, new genre. Sometimes it takes off, sometimes it doesn't. With gaming, it all comes down to what sells. I mean, obviously, FIFA sells, Call of Duty sells, Commander and Conquer doesn't sell enough, sadly. Bit of a sore subject. And what have we got here? The Scottish players. Scotland First Games in Championship. If you've got the Duels Centre in Perth between 9th and 13th of August 1999, you're in for a big surprise. Perth-based Computer Tech Scotland to host its first ever games tournament in the city this summer. The event will follow on from the qualifiers in Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen and Perth itself. The championship will take place across 6 disciplines: Tekken 3, PSX. The PSX was the code name for the PlayStation when it was in development. A lot of people like myself still refers to the original PlayStation as the PSX. And obviously, and then it went to the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5, minus the Vita and a PSP Portable, which is a tragedy that they don't make any portable gaming system. Half-Life PC, StarCraft, Microsoft Golf 1999, Mike Owens World League Soccer 99 PS, Colin McRae Valley PC, press office Andy Mills told us that there will be make sure that there are no opponents joypads at the crucial stage. Turn up and win. That's basically reference to the Gamesmaster TV show where apparently one of the contestants unplugged a control pad and the guy fell off. I think it was a level of Super Mario, but don't quote me on that. In Scotland, tastier Tekken 3, get up and get involved. It's highlighted, fling and no mistake of pop. So yeah, like I said, it's all online now. Although games done quickly is probably the closest to competitive sport that you could probably get to in terms of gaming. Although some of the esports shows that I've seen, especially before lockdown and then after lockdown, were quite impressive, especially the PUBG ones. I mean, the guy should be in the military who was playing that. So this is a very interesting one, which I'm trying to... there you go. The PlayStation X2 weaponry. The PlayStation 2 is so powerful that it may not be able to in certain sensitive countries in case the technology used for military purposes. Under US law, the PSX2 emotion engine is classed as a supercomputer and hence cannot be exported to certain countries like China. Yeah, I did hear about this. Basically, obviously the PlayStation 2 was a lot advanced compared to, for example, the PlayStation 3 to a PlayStation 5. I mean, the PlayStation 1 to a PlayStation 2, graphically, it was a massive jump, both in terms of graphics, length of gameplay, length of games, etc. So I did hear about that happening in the PlayStation 3 era as well. New Zelda for N64. A new Zelda title for the N64 will be unveiled at August Space World event. The game's currently titled Zelda Gaiden. It's likely to use landscapes and routines that were originally devised for in use in the game for the domed 64 add-on. Basically, I think that's referring to Majora's Mask, which in my opinion was a lot better than Ocarina of Time. For some reason, I don't know why, but when you get an original release of a Zelda game on a platform, it's always the one that comes after it. For some reason, I prefer. I don't know why. I'm just sort of weird in that sort of situation. DC in high demand. Sega's denied reports that suggest that they will not be able to cope with the demand when the Dreamcast is launched in the US by rendering 1.5 million Dreamcasts. And that's probably about as much as it actually sold there, because it was not very good. And then we'll end on a Vinto ad. Right, 2 more pages down. I'm up to page 16, 17. Thank you very much for watching. There will be more content this week. See you soon.